It's my birthday, hooray! And what a better way to celebrate my birthday than my gateway back into Generation 6. So yeah, finally, battles again, and I finally feel like I've just played long enough to adapt long enough to the meta where I can actually battle again, so we're gonna be doing some Gen 6 now, getting used to little things like this, like new different type mechanics and fairy type and what's good. And yeah, so I talked to the Pokemon Center lady, Nurse Joy, I guess. She doesn't even wish me happy birthday, and that's kind of funny because my DS is like set to a different time, a different day than it actually is. So I didn't get the happy birthday message, and I was so sad. And I was like, oh, I wanted that on camera, which is like funny. After like a reset, it was on set to July 30th to the 31st, so that was like hilarious and stuff. So we got a standard X and Y match against JohnReese from Smokin. So we're just gonna be getting, I guess, kind of right into it. My team. So what do you do when steels are nerfed heavily? You build a team with 3 steel types in it. That seems like a good idea. So biggest threats, obviously, and since I have like a bazillion steel types, is gonna be the Mancho. Mancho can like shit on my entire team if given the room, just because I have a huge fighting weakness. If I don't play my Gengar and or my Azumarill correctly, I can get screwed really fast. That's a huge thing. So I leave a Gengar just in case he decides to leave a Machop. Realizing this, I'm just gonna go for the sub because I know I'm probably gonna be faster, and unless he's scarfed, of course, it's just a Scouty what he does. He goes for the Dark Pulse. It looks like he's his choice in some way, so I'm just gonna go straight off for the Disable because sub Disable Gengar is very underrated in this meta. It's actually just as good as it was in Gen 5. I don't understand why people aren't using this set. It's like it shits on people all the time. So I'm gonna disable his Dark Pulse. Now he has to switch out because I'm pretty sure he specs, and I'm just gonna get the free sub buff as he switches into his Garchomp. Free Shadow Ball from here, just gonna go for it. And it turns out since he has to hit me with the sub, it shows that he's faster than me. So I know right off the bat that he is Scarfed, and I also probably know that his Houndoom is spec. So information advantage on the side of me, which is always nice. Obviously, I know because he is locked in a crunch, just going to get my easy switch into Ferrothorn. I could go into Heatran and get my rocks up. Decide I prioritize spikes more so right now just because I can get the iron barbs on him for a little extra damage back. And just seems like an easier opportunity to get this Ferroid and get the spikes as like the better pivot, I guess. I don't know. So Specs are going to be laid down. He does opt to switch into, I believe, is my Enshao here, which is like his biggest threat to me. I know that the way he thusly switched it in and how he's been playing at this point, that he's probably going to overpredict and just not go straight off of that jump kick. It's too big of a risk that because I still have my Gengar alive, that he's probably just going to predict and go straight off for the U-turn. So I do predict that, and I do stay in and go for the gyro just to get damage off on his team. I maybe should have went for the Lisi just to like force him to switch around a little bit more, but I thought the figure the gyro was the better play, and it probably was, because even though he does switch into Houndoom, which does resist it, because Houndoom has like pitiful defenses and this thing has high speed, obviously it does over half, which is freaking huge, even despite the resistance. Fearing a fire move, I'm going to switch out now and go into Heatran since I do have the Flash Fire to take it. I believe he does predict this somewhat and goes for the Dark Pulse just to be safe, and it does decent damage. I am especially defensive, so not really too much. Stealth Rocks are free from here, just going to go for it, which pretty much leaves that Houndoom dead in the water from here, just because he's going to die to Stealth Rocks plus Spikes looking at the damage that he's left off in. So his Houndoom is already dead to Hazards at this point, so keep that in mind. So Rotom does come in. I am fearing like stuff from it, but I don't want to scout it since I know that even if it's offensive, I know he can't one-shot me, so I'm going to stay in. Tank the Hydro Pump doesn't do too much, so I'm thinking he's like more of a standard like Hydro Will-O-Wisp semi-bulky one. So I do get the Toxic off, which will come into play a little bit. It is not that key, but it is nice. So I'm going to switch out here knowing he's going to go for anything but the Will-O-Wisp, even though the likelihood is he is going to go for the Volt Switch as he does, so he does see my Ferrothorn, and he can freely switch back into his Mancho if he does desire, and leaves him in the same predicament. But he actually opts to switch into his Mawile here instead, and he is just going to, obviously this is his Mega, so he's going to Mega that up right off the bat, and try to get some setups on me. I figured he would go for this SD. I was also fearing the prospect that he could be like a sub-punching one, but again, I don't know this meta very well, so it's not like I know what things usually run, so I figured at least he would be the safest option. Yeah, he does get the SD up, which it does make this Mawile a huge fucking threat. And by the way, Mega Mawile is a fucking beast, and I love Mawile. I'm so glad I got a Mega. Thing's so awesome. So get Leashed off, which is nice. He is +2, and he is like at the ability to like nearly like one-shot my entire team at this point with huge power. So I'm going to switch out to Gengar, predicting him to go for the Sucker Punch or the Fighting move, and he makes a huge play and goes for the Play Rough. That was freaking huge. He kills my Gengar for free there. That was a big misplay on my part. But I really thought he'd go for either the Fighting move, which I would be immune to, or the Sucker Punch, which I could sweetly friction to on the Switch because I wouldn't be attacking. But yes, it goes for the Play Rough, and that really does suck. Goes for the Sucker Punch now, switching to Keldeo, which is probably my best thing to take a Sucker Punch that can still live it at +2 with huge power. So I just go for the Sacred Sword, knowing it's going to kill, knowing it can't probably kill it, but it does bring it to a point where after Leech Eater, I know that one more Leech Tick will probably take it out. So I predict the Sucker Punch because I know that he can't hit me if I Sucker Punch while I switch. But he actually predicts me to predict that and goes for the play rough again, outplaying me twice in a row and takes out my Heatran for free, which was, well, I guess I suck at this game now because I haven't played it for so long. Either way, I know it's still free to revenge it with Marwell, so I'm just going to go for the Aqua Jet and take it out, so that's fine. And now he switches into his Rotom, knowing that I'm probably locked into it, even if I'm not. Azumarill can't do too much to thing anyways, plus I'm throwing a burn. So going to Ferrothorn because it's really the only thing that can take a burn after Heatran's dead anyways. Like, none of my team really wants to take it, so I started just going to Ferro just to take it. I probably could have gotten away with anything, but it's like, might as well just go into Ferrothorn in case he may go for the Volt Switch. I couldn't really risk switching Keldeo in case I went for an offensive move in general. So, both U-turn fires off just to like get some damage as he switches and he goes into his Mayan Shell. I believe I just go for the, I don't even know what I do here. Oh, I think I already, yeah, I just go for the spikes just to get some more hazards. So that was actually kind of a questionable play. I probably should have went for the offensive move. Even though on burn it would have been halved anyways, it probably would have been more useful on the Mayan Shell to get raw damage off than the spikes damage. But no big deal. He's going to kill me off with a high jump kick. I don't feel the need to predict this at this point because at this point this Mayan Shell is too big of a threat for me to bullshit around with it anymore. So I'm just going to let it kill whatever it can and get damage off when I can. So I just go into Azumarill now and go for the Aqua Jet, and he stays in, which was a huge misplay on his point. At this point, he should have realized how big of a threat Mayan Shell was to my entire team. He should not have sacked it like that. That was actually really stupid. He should have switched in the Rotom. There was no reason not to, in my opinion. And that, like, really was, like, a huge misplay, in my opinion, for his part. Goes in the Rotom. I had to switch out because I'm locked in the Aqua Jet. Again, I have nothing to take the Willow, so I just say, fuck it, I'm just going to switch into Bisharp and take the Willow. Bisharp on this team is actually, like, the interchangeable guy that can really be anything. At one point, it was a Hydreigon. Another point, it was, like, a freaking Mandibuzz. I really don't know what I'm putting here yet. It's like, I kind of want a Dark type here, but I don't really know what. So, go over the Sucker Punch, get some damage off, and I'm going to die to Bury. Nothing really important happens there other than Bisharp's useless and dies for no reason. So, Rotom's low. I can easily go into Keldeo and revenge it with the Secret Sword. That thing's going to die fairly easily. And now it's looking alright for me. So, it goes into his Sylveon here, which, yeah, so I definitely don't want to take a Moonblast, so I'm going to switch into my Azumarill here in a second. Fairy does not resist fairies, which I assumed it would, but it actually doesn't. I knew that, but I feel like fairy should resist fairy. Like, Game Freak, please. Like, please. That should be a thing. Even though that probably makes make fairy too good of a defensive type because it already is amazing. But, anyways, take 2 Moonblast, and I know I can just kill it off with a Waterfall, so I just decided up to do that. I don't get any attack drops, thankfully. Or is it lower special attack? I don't know. I'm not a pro at this generation yet. But, yeah, that thing dies. He does go into his Garchomp, which technically is his last Pokemon because his other Pokemon is Houndoom, which is dead to Hazard. So, it's pretty much my game from here. All I have to do now is just sack Keldeo to the Earthquake so I can go back into Azumarill, switch moves because I'm banded, and go for the Aqua Jet to take out the Garchomp, and that will be the match because his Houndoom is dead to Hazard. So that's going to be the game, and yeah, pretty neat with 6th gen battle. Neat stuff. So, yeah, that's the game. Hooray. I guess I'm good at this meta. I don't know. It's going to take a while for me to get decent. Like, even learning UU, which, like, my crux tier last generation, I don't even know. It's going to take me forever to learn UU again. If I'll even start playing it anytime remotely soon, we'll see. So, that's going to be a good game for now. Good game, and, yeah, see you guys later for battles and Plants vs. Zombies and stuff. Bye.